Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Now, in case you missed the show, there's concern from Craig Burley that Jude Bellingham may not be able to go into a bar in Madrid and have a beer in peace, which brought Mario brought the story when he was in Madrid with Clarence Seedorf, who couldn't get out of the car because he could be mugged by fans, which got me thinking, how were you in Wigan, Mario?
In Wigan? Okay. I mean, it gave me a little taste then. I was nowhere near what the guys were at, but it gave me a little taste.
It was all right. And then Birmingham, when you were getting relegated, you just didn't bother.
Oh, then I left the city.
Yes.
I did not stay. I don't know what will happen then because I left straight away. I have to be honest with you. It was one of the, like if someone asks you what was the saddest moment in your career, it was that moment.
Oh,
look at you, Dan.
I'm sorry for bringing that up. Now I feel bad.
This is what you do, bringing people down.
Yeah,
not that
it
bad.
was that moment.
It's all right.
Wigan. Tell you what a night out that is, Wigan.
I lived in Manchester, so I don't know, my friend.
Oh, no dedication.
Is that why the Wigan fans must have hated you? Derby fans used to get annoyed at me. For many reasons. Yeah, but they used to get annoyed. Some of them, I believe, got annoyed because I lived in Nottingham.
How far is that from Derby?
Well, it's 20 minutes. It's just a big rivalry, isn't it? Nottingham Forest.
How far is it?
What do you mean?
Why couldn't you live in Nottingham? What was the problem?
I did live in Nottingham.
Well, what was the fans' problem with you living in Nottingham?
Well,
it's a rivalry.
Yeah, but you can still live there.
Get your coat.
20 minutes.
Nottingham Forest.
It's the biggest East Midlands rivalry.
Right. So you're not allowed to live there?
You're not supposed to.
You should live in a Derby
I just
then.
go against the grain.
What sort of captain were you?
One that lived in Nottingham. Come on, there's no
Didn't
choice.
Stan Collymore used to live? He stayed down, didn't he, in Birmingham when he played for Liverpool, and then he'd miss so many training sessions because of the fog. And there was a lot of comments about.
Well, Maurice Johnson, who is, you'll be familiar with coaching in Major League Soccer, but Maurice, obviously, great international footballer, great striker. When he signed for Rangers, which was controversy to say the least, he had to live in Edinburgh.
That's one of your lights just gone.
Yeah,
look how...
The light got bored with your story.
What happened was...
Oh, it's back on!
No. I shine enough light on this programme.
Oh, I see. Just...
Right, I don't need... Switch all the lights out. I don't need...
Hey, take Craig to Madrid, man, because he's the light of the town. Come on, let's take him to Madrid.
I'll tell you what, Clarence Seedorf, get out of here. No, Maurice had to live in Edinburgh because it wasn't safe for him to live in Glasgow.
Wow.
It was bad.
Oh, dear.
The Rangers boys used to have to park the cars inside the stadium and they all had to be checked underneath the cars for devices. That's how bad it got.
Oh, dear.
So a bit serious there.
Dark, yeah, and then we've got relegation.
Yeah, well, that's why the lights were coming down.
Wigan, what a night.
Wigan.
I believe I've never been.
Really? Have you never been out in Wigan?
No, I've never been to Wigan. Neither's Mario. Lived in Manchester.
No, Wigan was a great town. I'm not definitely, look, guys, if you want to play football where a team really cares about you, I call Wigan with a proud heart. Yes.
Oh, there we go. Backtrack.
That's not what you were saying about Roberto Martinez last week.
No, I said...
What was that last word?
No. Hey, Craig. Don't put words in my mouth, my friend.
I like it.
Hold on.
I'm okay
Have you got
to
a hammer?
I'm okay to
You've got to hammer these teeth back in.
Oh, it's like Alien as US International.
Yeah.
What? Is this game a sign that Arsenal is a massive threat for the Champions League? Well, I think we've all accepted they're a threat. They can win it, can't they, Mario?
Winning is maybe a big shout because I feel like them going after, because he's definitely have the league in his mind as well. But I think he will try to
let me put it this to you, Mario. Who is better than Arsenal, with the exception of Manchester City at the moment? Is that fair?
I don't think. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's a fair shout. There's not a lot of people, that teams, Premier League at the moment, that play the football the way they play. The only thing is the question that we all sitting there and we all know the same question comes always up for Arsenal. First, we had to ask them about the character. I feel like they implemented a big part of that. So I think they can, and even the coach is a bit more snappy because I played against him a number of times. He had the character too. But then it comes down the duration, guys. We know when we get to December, then is when you really can know where Arsenal is going to be.
Yeah, but you see at the moment, PSG got their problems. Real Madrid not convincing. Barcelona, of course, haven't brought in the defensive kind of strength that they did last season. Who else is in that conversation as well? Like Bayern, we talked about them. So there's definitely, it's like Craig said, you take Manchester City
Inter.
out.
Just in case Gab's on.
Yes, an Italian side. Just for an Italian team as well. If there's no City, it's quite a competition. Is it too early to start the Ten Hag out, De Zerbi in campaign? Ooh. Oh, Craig, you'd be the king of that campaign. You love De Zerbi.
Ooh.
Yeah, you could go and get Evan Ferguson.
Right, yeah.
No, I think, yeah, it is. The answer is yes, it is. But I think, from De Zerbi's point of view, I think a lot of clubs will be looking at what he's doing, what he's done and what he is doing with what he's got, and be very impressed. But not just that, don't forget this guy.
Could he do a better job than Ten Hag with this personnel?
I think at the moment you'd have to say yes. At the moment you'd have to say yes. If you got this, when Graham Potter left Brighton for Chelsea, and I think most people thought he'd done a pretty good job with Brighton, right? But the one of the things was they were a little bit ponderous and they lacked a goal threat.
Final third, wasn't it?
They lacked a goal threat. So when De Zerbi comes in, you think, well, Danny Welbeck, young Irish boy, and Ferguson. Mitoma comes in, he's on the bench. You've got Solly March, who's been a stalwart for Brighton. I mean, we're hardly talking about players here that all the elite teams around Europe are coveting. And yet,
how excited he gets when he talks about Brighton.
If I don't get a free season ticket. But if you'd have said he's going to do what he's done with this team and taken them on, not one step, but 2 steps, then most people would have said, nah, he won't be able to do that. But he has. He has. So, yeah, I think at the moment the answer would be yes.
And he has. And now McAllister is gone.
Yep.
Caicedo gone. And still you're... And I think what's important about Brighton that you don't see at Manchester United is identity.
Yeah.
This is this is who we are. This is how we're going to play. And this is the squad that is going to be able to carry out and execute what I want you to do on the field. Identity and execution of that identity. You see with Brighton, we're far from that with Manchester United.
But there's more big heads at Man United.
Yes.
Big heads. So that's, more people that would hang about with Clarence Seedorf.
Why did you have to do it like emphasize?
No, look. Okay,
Why did you have to say it again?
Now it's time for me to talk, because people start calling.
Mario, we've run out of time. Thank you very much. ESPN FC back on your...
Mario, you've got an internet connection problem.
Okay, go on, Mario.
I was 19 years old, but Craig, don't worry about it. 19 years old, I had a dream. But what the guys would highlight, I think when you talk about the sensitive part of Ten Hag, I think taking over the job of Man United, I think sometimes people underestimate how big of a job that is. I think you look at the players that they brought in, but you also look at the players they already had. I don't want to say it was the same as what Chelsea's going through, but it was a similar situation, because that team, they're trying to rebuild everything. And then you get the injuries, then you get some are good, some are not good. So when you look at the Zerbi, the way that club, what I like about Brighton is they bring in what they know. Every coach they bring in then has to be capable to work with the ones that we already brought in. And I don't know if that strategy is the same at Manchester United, because I think who comes in wants his own identity, while when you're at Brighton, you carry on what they already have for you. And I think that's why they're doing so well.
But we have to start seeing what he's trying. The honeymoon season is over, right? It's gone. Right?
Yes.
All that's gone. The honeymoon is done. Ronaldo's gone. There are other issues, clearly. But when Brighton's not the only one. When you see what Postecoglou's doing short-term at Tottenham, right? And don't forget, he could moan about as much as any manager when somebody goes like that with Harry Kane.
Sure.
He's gone. I mean, not that he wouldn't have known it was happening, but that's a big blow to any manager, is it not? I mean, that's a bigger blow than losing Anthony or Mason Greenwood or a couple of injuries here or there. That's a huge blow. And yet he's been able to figure out so far a way around it. I'm not suggesting it will last and go on and they'll be automatically in the top 4. It's not going to be as easy as that. But there are other managers at the moment that are doing a better coaching job than Erik Ten Hag. I think that's a valid point.
Mario, Craig is now a star on TikTok after his rants this weekend about Ten Hag and his excuses. What do you think of the excuses that he's made, talking about bad luck and bad refereeing decisions?
I don't like coaches when they start highlighting the outside things, what is happening in their team, because I think some of the things that Ten Hag highlighted is happening to every team. I mean, look, if you look at the bigger boys that has been there, or bigger boys, I cannot say bigger, but I mean equal at that statue where he is living at, of a Man United team, some have been through a lot. We can call, I give an example, Pochettino, where maybe I highlight more of, but he is going through a lot, but you don't hear him. One thing he said, I'm not going to complain too much about what's happening because I got to deal with what I have right now. And I think Ten Hag has to be careful that he doesn't start doing that. Because if he talks a lot about the outside, then people start seeing that you're laying the problem to something else. Like the referee is not good, my injuries, the way. But you are also implementing certain key players. So if you don't like them, or if you don't like the way they are playing, or whatever is happening, you cannot only highlight the problem that is not relevant to your team. And that is the only thing I would say, like what Craig said, you understand, he's probably, because I heard him here talking too about it, some of the things you have to be careful that he doesn't go too much outside, because I want him to focus on his team.
Are you obsessed with being on TikTok like Craig is, Mario?
Wow. No, I'm not. I'm totally not. I leave that for him.
Stop. Don't listen to him. I'm not on TikTok. Mario, I'm not on TikTok.
Well, for now.
That look like a man that's on TikTok. Seem to be appearing on TikTok. Worryingly, there is a You're not on TikTok, are you?
Of course not.
There is another member of this crew who's not here today, strangely enough, is on TikTok.
Stevie loves TikTok.
He just likes videos.
Yeah, I know. It's about.
He's got a short attention span.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he's on YouTube all the time, watching cruise liners crash,
yes,
and ships almost crashing in waves.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Wait. Stevie's on TikTok.
No, but he's as a voyeur. He watches it. He's not. He doesn't actively add video.
Yeah,
Stevie's videos.
The game is gone.
Well, if Stevie
gone.
If Stevie posts a video on TikTok, it's a bum dial. It's a mistake.
Yeah, most
and his
definitely.
brother worried, but he's got TikTok. That's the thing.
Yeah, he certainly does. He loves it. Ali, with regard to Onana asking to speak to CBS to explain what happened, has any of the guys tried to do exactly the same thing after they lost the game?
No.
So he obviously went on CBS to say, look, it's my fault. It wasn't...
Well, you need to explain.
And what are you going to do?
Well, it's just, I suppose it shows that you're taking responsibility.
Okay, so now you're making it about yourself again. Huh?
Well, maybe the fans want to see that.
So to see what? They've already seen the mistake. And you explaining it, it's not going to make it any better, and it's not going to bring the goal back, and it's not going to bring the result back. I don't care. See, do it on the field. See, that's what speaks louder than anything else, or TikTok, or anything for that matter. You just do it on the field. Stop the ball from going into the back of the net. Do your job. Oh. That's much better than how good you are in front of a microphone explaining how you messed up.
I would love to hear that explanation. Well, tongue-in-cheek, I really wouldn't. What's he going to say?
Well, there was this big boy, and he's sorry.
There was this big boy wearing a red shirt, and what he did, he shot at goals, and I dived over the ball. And anyway,
can I ask Mario? Is that right? What were you going to say? Anything interesting?
No, well, they also talked to Harry Kane, as you know.
Right. Okay. Mario, when you were captain of Birmingham Wigan, did you feel the need to come out and address the media?
No, we only had it one time. I did was we lost against Spurs. Then that was the only time. But after, no, because you don't do that. You some moments you already know the heat, and that's the same with Onana. Onana doesn't understand, I think, what could backfire to him, and I want him to stay away from that, because as a person, I've spoken when I came around Ajax, enough times to him, and be careful. Just focus on what the guy said. Just focus on your job. Just do your job well, Just focus on that. You have the talent. You have the ingredients. Just expose it to what they want to see. And don't leave that talking for someone else. You have a captain in the team. Let him talk for you. That's how I said. I did it once at Wigan. I had to do it because the guys highlighted, like what Craig said. Martinez was my coach. We lost the game against Spurs. It was a high number. I think it was maybe 9-1, and I said, no, I'm not taking that. So the next day I came to training, I asked a meeting, I went to Martinez, I said, hey, can I talk to the team instead of you talking? He said, yeah, it's fine. It was also better because at that point, I've never seen him like that. Martinez looked like it was like something really terrible happened. So I went to the team and I said to them, look, guys, I know we're not going to change a lot of things for people, but one thing we're going to do, we're going to pay them back their tickets. So we paid the tickets back and gave them the money back for coming to the game because we felt embarrassed. And also because of the reason, because we wanted them to support us and not to run away from us because we lost that big of a number. We wanted them to stay with us, and they stayed with us, and we end up staying in the league that season.
That's a lot of nonsense. Anyway, that's a lot of nonsense.
What?
What
Mario,
is a lot
that's
of
nice.
nonsense?
No, not Mario. That tweet.
Oh.
That tweet. Not you, Mario. The tweet's a lot of nonsense. Do you think Onana went in the dressing room? Do you think he went in the dressing room and went, oh, really sorry, lads. Do you know who's covering this in the United States? I really need to talk to them. I mean, do you think he went in the dressing room and went, who covers the game across the pond? I need to go and speak to them directly because it's so important. The absolute nonsense.
Let your captain do that. You don't speak.
Spare me.
Well, that's what he did. He apparently did ask to go and speak to the media.
No, let
To
the
apologise.
captain-
Well, they got asked and go and speak to the media. Is a completely different thing.
Right.
All right. And that's equally stupid.
Yeah, if you're captain, you do that.
Completely different thing that's just equally as
Well, that's going to speak to CBS. Don't be so bloody stupid. Go and you made a mistake, right? Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Pick yourself up, brush yourself down, get on with it. This is so 2023. Oh, I must go and explain how I've had such an awful evening to the media. Get lost.
It's a similar thing when they put out on Twitter or Instagram or whatever.
I
when
like
they
it.
say
Nice bit of interaction with
interaction with whom?
showing the human side
With
of it all.
what? And when you start
it's
saying,
lovely.
hey,
That's the problem.
We're embarrassed. We're going to do well next time. I don't care if you're embarrassed. What I do care, if I'm a fan, is that when you show up next time, is that you do your job. I'm supporting here. I'm hoping that you do your job. I'm supporting you so that you do your job. That's the best way that you can explain to me how to do it on the field, by actually doing what you're asked to do, what your job is. That's it.
The problem is everybody wants interaction.
I like a bit of interaction.
I hate interaction.
I love
Why
it.
would you go on Twitter and interact with people?
I don't
You wouldn't talk to them if you walked in the pub
Don does
with
it,
Clarence Seedorf.
Don does it, Clarence Seedorf.
If I walked in the pub with Clarence Seedorf, I wouldn't. What Don does, Don needs to get out a little bit more. He's not here to defend himself. But anyway, we'll pile in. Bosh, Don.
Right, for Craig, Onana has conceded 14 goals in 5 games.
Yeah, not all his.
Would David de Gea have performed better? He's currently a free agent. Signing him might push Onana to do better.
Boy.
Who's picking these questions? Who picks the questions? We know who picks the questions.
I don't know. I don't think it was our boss today.
No?
I think it was our producer.
Oh, was he flexing his muscles?
He's just said in my ear, I'm a boss.
Hey, get your elbows out. I'm not an AP anymore. I'm the boss. Hey, our boss better watch out, because the boss of this show, today's boss of this show, wants to be the big boss.
Oh,
well,
God.
If you learn one thing today, that's what it is. Hey, big edge, big edge. I'm the boss.
Hey, LA has changed
end it
life.
there. Hey, let's go. Walk off. We should walk off. We should go and strike.
Do you think that should be it? We got time for one more or no?
Who are you asking?
One more.
Boss, the
Stella.
boss.
Oh, yeah.
Boss.
Yes.
At the end of first game week, Mario, which team was the most impressive and which was the most disappointing?
It's after the end of the first game week. I think it was the most impressive. What you're talking about? The
Champions League.
Okay.
Champions League.
What team was the most impressive? I mean, look, we have to highlight a City team. You know, regardless if they miss some crazy opportunities, because they had a lot of opportunities. I still think they looked like they were under control. You know, they controlling the tempo. Who else do I say? I think I'll go for City. Let me highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Barca were good. Barca did well, obviously.
Barcelona, Manchester City.
Arsenal.
Yeah,
we
Arsenal
talked about
was-
Arsenal, PSG, comfortable against Dortmund.
I was really unimpressed.
Dortmund was one of the most disappointing.
Yeah.
And I was really unimpressed with Antwerp.
Really? What in particular?
Royal
Well, the
Antwerp.
fact they got bumped.
Right.
Royal Antwerp. Because I actually had high hopes for them.
You would take them away the royal bit
No,
now.
come on. They won the league, but that was about it, I think.
Yeah, Craig. Where's the human side?
He's famous in LA, isn't he?
Where's Mario?
Yeah, has to put a moustache and glasses on when he goes out.
Mario's
Big
I
moustache.
never have to do that, Greg. You know what the thing is with you in LA? Stay yourself. You get
I've got to do that where I live.
Mario, did you hear when Frank Leboeuf lived in LA, he used to walk everywhere with the World Cup trophy in his full French kit, just to remind people in case they didn't know that he was a World Cup winner?
No, I don't know why he would do that, but that's
Frank.
probably his sauce, but it's not mine. No, I enjoy the city just by being under the radar is good enough.
Yeah, it's good to be under the radar.
They thought it was Fabian Barthez when he was living there. There's Fabian Barthez. Maybe he thought, he looks like Donald Pleasance, doesn't he? Remember him?
The new boss is telling us that it's time to move on.
All right.
That is it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mario. Great stuff,
You mean
mate.
the one that's actually getting promoted even higher up tomorrow?
LA Mike.
Hey,
It's changed.
I feel he's getting a phone call tonight.
Yeah, LA Mike.
ESPN FC back on your screens tomorrow. Who knows who'll be in charge?
Boss.
LA.